Heaven's window is closing on August 31, as God grows angry that you've skipped every divine nudge Archangel Michael sent. What comes next if you ignore this final warning may be irreversible. August 31 marked as a divine cutoff, not just a date, but a heavenly deadline. Hear now, O listener, for this is not the time to slumber. This is not a date among dates, nor a mark on a worldly calendar to be ignored. August 31 is etched in the courts of heaven, not as a suggestion, not as a footnote, but as a divine deadline. The Father, who is slow to anger and abounding in mercy, has now drawn a line not of cruelty, but of righteous finality. This line is mercy's final whisper before justice speaks. It is the closing breath of grace before consequence takes its seat. For too long, the nudges have come. The whispers, the disruptions, the dreams that woke you at 3:33 a.m., the doors that slammed shut when you thought they should have opened. These were not coincidences. They were not random. They were messages. Urgent dispatches sent by Archangel Michael, heaven's enforcer and messenger, sent again and again, until now. But you, child of promise, have looked but not seen, heard but not listened. The still small voice was drowned in distractions. The signs were pushed aside, interpreted as inconvenience rather than invitation. And now, the one who speaks through fire and silence has grown silent once more, but not in mercy. His silence now carries warning. His patience has reached its threshold, and stillness now becomes the only safe place where his voice may still be found, if you would listen one final time. Understand this. Heaven's windows are not always open. Destiny is not eternally delayed. There is a window, a sliver of divine access, that closes when obedience is rejected too long. And that window, dear soul, is closing. When it shuts, what was available will be withdrawn. What was offered may no longer be returned. And the life you were meant to live may begin to wither in the soil of disobedience. This message is not for the crowd. It is not for the many. It is for the few. The called, the almost obedient, the one who's been feeling the tremble but hasn't moved. It is for you. The one who can feel time folding in and the heavens stirring. You felt it, and now you hear it. This is your final call. Type "I receive" the warning if your spirit knows this word is for you. Blessing code 777 is now wakened over your life. Hear the voice of the Watcher. Hear the voice of the Commander of the Lord's armies. I, Archangel Michael, now stand before the threshold of your spirit. And I declare by the authority entrusted to me from the throne room, what you do before the sun rises after August 31 cannot be undone. Heaven is no longer waiting on your feelings. Heaven is now recording your choices. This is not a message wrapped in sentiment. It is a divine summons. Not a whisper, not a nudge, but a final trumpet blast for the one who still stands halfway between surrender and rebellion, halfway between listening and delay. You. Yes, you, the one reading these very words with trembling in your gut, with a strange heaviness sitting on your chest. You feel it, because this was sent to you. This message is not for the many. It is not for the casual crowd, scrolling for comfort. It is for the one who has heard the soft footsteps of heaven pacing outside their door. For the one whose sleep has been restless, whose days feel suspended, whose thoughts feel invaded by something holy and terrifying. Child of destiny, you have been interrupted. This is no coincidence. This is no accidental encounter with a message. This is a divine appointment. Heaven interrupts the ordinary when eternity is about to shift. When a heavenly contract is about to expire. When a door in the spirit realm is about to slam shut and lock for a season. This is the final warning before it does. I speak now as Michael, defender of covenant, bearer of prophetic dispatch, the one who wars on your behalf even when you are unaware. The one who has stirred the winds around your decisions. The one who has broken your plans to protect your calling. The one who has sent whispers into your spirit and shielded you from attacks you never saw. And yet, too often, those whispers were met with neglect. You silenced them with busyness. You've excused them away with logic. You've covered them with fear disguised as caution. But I say this now with fire in my tone. The God of justice will not continue to be mocked by hesitation. The one who crafted your scroll in heaven's library, who carved your name into the strategy of eternity, will not keep his hand extended to the disobedient forever. The warnings have escalated. The whispers have grown louder. Now comes the reckoning moment. Now comes the final invitation wrapped in thunder and silence. You must enter the stillness. You must step back from the noise. The window that is closing can only be seen by those who are still enough to feel it, silent enough to hear it, and bold enough to walk through it. Do you not see that heaven is collapsing time to confront your spirit? Do you not discern that the delay in your relationships, the tension in your job, the disruption in your dreams are not random? Time is folding, and eternity is knocking on the walls of your now. You have until the closing of August 31, not because God is cruel, but because he is righteous. This is the day of divine interruption. This is the moment of soul awakening. This is the final dispatch. I, Michael, have spoken. Type I hear heaven in the comments. The blessing code 444 is now encircling your home and heart. You have felt it. The strange delays. The moments where time twisted unexpectedly and nothing made sense. The job offer that fell through without explanation. The person who disappeared with no warning. The opportunity that looked right but never opened. These were not failures. These were divine interventions. They were heavenly disruptions sent as nudges, as coded messages from the throne, dispatched by my hand. Archangel Michael, and yet they were dismissed, brushed off, misunderstood. And now, the Spirit presses in again. Have you not wondered why you felt so unsettled lately? Why everything seems to carry a strange weight, even in moments that should feel light? Why you sense something is moving around you, even though your eyes cannot see it? That pressure in your spirit is not anxiety, it is the voice of the divine, pressing into your soul. You've called it overthinking. You've called it oversensitivity. But heaven calls it awakening. You are awakening to the moment, but time is short. There have been dreams, strange dreams, recurring faces, voices calling your name, shadows chasing light. These are not figments of your imagination. They are heaven's parables to your subconscious. God has been visiting your sleep because your waking mind has been too crowded to hear him. These weren't just dreams, they were dispatches from the realm of warning, coded revelations of what you must avoid or embrace. But did you write them down? Or did you dismiss them like dust? There have been secret watchers too, people around you who sense your calling, but mock your delay. They see your hesitation. They speak in soft tones, doubting whether you'll rise or crumble. They don't say it to your face, but they whisper it in private. They'll miss it again. You don't know their names, but you felt their doubt. You sense the pressure of unspoken judgment. Even they wonder, will you hear this final call? And now, heaven wonders too. You must not underestimate this moment. There are eyes on you, not just of man, but of eternal watchers. Angels, ancestors, demons, all watching to see which direction you will turn. There is a cosmic tension around your decision, and it has reached its breaking point. You can no longer afford to mislabel spiritual warning as emotional confusion. The unease you feel, it's not mental noise. It's not fear. It is holy unrest, the kind that shakes you when your destiny is pulling at your chest, but your feet are still stuck in yesterday. It's the friction between heaven's urgency and earth's delay. That trembling inside you is not weakness. It's the rumble of your divine alignment being forced into place. And I, Michael, have already placed signs in your path. Small things. Divine breadcrumbs. A word from a stranger. A verse that kept repeating. A missed phone call at the exact right time. But did you follow them? Or did you wave them off, hoping for something more obvious? This is the final nudge. And if you still ignore it, heaven will hand you over to your choices, not as punishment, but as a reflection of your will. Do not let those who doubted you be proven right. Let heaven be proven right about you. Let the nudges matter this time. Let the mystery disrupt you so deeply that it births movement. Type "I will not miss IT" if your spirit is burning with this word. Blessing code 888 is now igniting the atmosphere around your next decision. You've just heard what most were never meant to hear. This kind of word isn't for everyone. It's for those marked, those chosen, those trembling under the weight of destiny. If this message stirred your spirit, then know, you're not just receiving breakthrough, you're becoming a vessel of it for others. When you support this mission, you're not giving to a channel, you're sowing into a harvest of souls, unlocking chains, and keeping the voice of heaven echoing into the lives of the weary. God said, "Give, and it will be given unto you." This isn't poetry, it's prophetic law. I feel led to say this. Your giving today isn't charity, it's warfare. When you bless this mission, your name is written into the testimony of someone else's awakening. If you feel that tug, don't delay. You can sow a super thanks. Join the channel through membership or give via PayPal using the link in the video description. Bless their hands, Lord. Multiply their giving like oil. Let no seed go unseen. Now move. Don't hesitate. The heavens are watching. The conflict you've been facing is not random. The chaos hasn't been by chance. The frustration, the closed doors, the long silences from God, they've all been intentional, designed with precision from realms higher than your eyes can see. You've looked at your delays and thought, maybe I missed it, maybe God forgot me, maybe I'm not chosen after all. But no, beloved, you are not forgot. You are not invisible. You are marked, and that mark makes you dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. This conflict is not punishment. It is measurement. You are being weighed. You are being watched. Every reaction is being recorded. Every moment of obedience, every moment of hesitation, heaven has documented it all. And hell, too, has taken notice. The delays that have tormented you, the resistance that has worn you thin, these are not signs of failure. They are evidence that you're getting close. You see, the war over your life intensified the moment you got near the gate of fulfillment. When the enemy saw that you were waking up, aligning, stirring in the spirit, he doubled the opposition. Why? Because a passive believer is no threat, but a positioned one, a believer who is rising, watching, and listening, is a weapon. And you, whether you feel like it or not, have become a weapon in God's hand. The enemy's strategy was not to destroy you. It was to distract you just long enough to miss the moment. To get you one day too late, one prayer too shallow, one step too hesitant. But I, Archangel Michael, tell you now, you are still in position, but barely. The war around you is heaven's indicator that your destiny still burns hot. Do not confuse heaven's silence for absence. It is the weight of observation. Your trial is being watched. Your response is being judged, not to condemn you, but to prepare you for what's next. You must understand this. The greater the anointing, the tighter the testing. Heaven does not hand out mantles without measuring motives. And the silence. It wasn't neglect, it was divine restraint. The Father has been silent not because he has withdrawn, but because he has been watching. Every time you prayed and felt nothing, every time you obeyed and saw no result, every time you stayed faithful, even when it cost you everything, those moments became weights on heaven's scale, and that scale is now tipping. You were never under attack because you were weak. You were attacked because your call. You were resisted because hell smelled your oil before you even recognized your own anointing. And now you must reframe everything. The opposition was not denial. It was spiritual recognition. Darkness saw your destiny coming before you did. This is the season where excuses must die and revelation must rise. You must stop calling spiritual warfare bad luck. You must stop calling delay failure. Heaven has been refining your obedience, cutting off every piece of you that bows to comfort or fear. Because what's coming next, if you obey, will demand a level of strength, purity, and spiritual clarity that can only come through fire. So let this moment mark you. Let it brand you. Let it open your eyes. The war you're in is not personal, it's prophetic. You are not just fighting for a breakthrough. You are fighting for an unlocking of generations, of bloodlines, of divine patterns never before fulfilled. And August 31 is not just a date, it is the final weighing before assignments are sealed. Type I am marked in the comments if you feel the divine fire confirming this word. Blessing code 1919 is releasing heaven's strength into your season now. Hear me now, for I speak not from man's clock, but from heaven's calendar, and it has already begun to shift. As the final hours of August slip through the fingers of time, the window of mercy is narrowing, and what was once offered freely is now guarded by angels with flaming swords. The moment of pause is nearly over. The door of decision is closing. And after August 31, what is sealed in heaven cannot be reversed on earth. This is not a message to frighten. It is a message to shake you out of slumber. You have been waiting for confirmation, but the confirmation has already come in the form of interruptions. You've been pleading for more time, but heaven has whispered, time is up. And as your spirit reads this now, you feel it. The weight, the holy pressure, the divine urgency. This is not imagination. This is not emotional. This is prophetic reality brushing up against your natural life. There is something moving against you in the natural realm even now. A decision being made in someone else's heart, an assignment being crafted in secret, an action set in motion that could impact your life in ways you've yet to comprehend. Someone is preparing to act against you. And if you do not move under the covering of obedience, you will be left vulnerable to their strike. This is the moment where what's happening in the spiritual realm and the physical realm are about to converge. The crisis is forming. The tension is thickening. And the grace period for disobedience is evaporating. I, Archangel Michael, speak with the full weight of the command I was given. Heaven will not cover what you refuse to confront. You must respond now. You must act in obedience, not partial, not delayed, not hesitant, but full surrender. Otherwise, the very protection you thought you had will lift, not as punishment, but as consequence. Some of you have already felt it. Strange accidents, emotional outbursts, relational strain, things unraveling quickly. This is the pressure before the shift. These are the tremors before the shaking. The Lord is warning. If you ignore this final dispatch, you step outside the perimeter of protection that has been surrounding you like an invisible shield. You've been walking in grace. But the hour has come when only obedience keeps the shield in place. You will not be given every answer. You will not be shown the full map. You will not be handed all the details, because this moment is not about understanding. It's about trust. Heaven is watching to see if you will move when He says move, even without the full picture. Those who wait for perfect clarity will miss this door entirely. The clues have been given. The whispers have been sent. But the full revelation, the unlocking of what this moment means, will only come after you step out in faith. Remember this: delayed obedience is still disobedience. Hesitation in this hour is rebellion in disguise. And rebellion, left unchecked, invites divine consequence. You are not in a normal season. You are standing at a spiritual intersection, and your next step will determine whether your life aligns with heaven or begins to unravel into spiritual wilderness. Let this be the holy fire that consumes your indecision. Let it burn away your delay, your fear, your pride, your comfort. Heaven is not playing. The stakes are eternal, and the hourglass is down to its last grains. Type "I step into obedience" in the comments if you feel the fire of heaven on this word. Blessing Code 3030 is now drawing the angels of protection into your household. Now, I speak not with thunder, but with sacred stillness. For while the warning has roared like a lion, the instruction comes like the wind Elijah heard, quiet, invisible, undeniable. The urgency remains, but so does the strategy. For heaven never shouts without also guiding. You are not being left in chaos. You are being led, drawn, and protected. But that protection hinges on one forgotten command: be still. Yes, child of heaven, be still. For the Lord your God does not wage war the way men do. Your response is not to run in fear, but to rest in awareness. To withdraw into the secret place, to shut the door, to turn off the noise, and to tune your ears to the frequency of divine whisper. The enemy would love nothing more than for you to panic in this hour. But panic is not your portion. Position is. You do not fight spiritual sabotage with noise, reaction, or aggression. You fight it with stillness, silence, and sacred attention. Because when you grow quiet, heaven grows loud on your behalf. When you go low in humility, heaven rises high in war. The angels have been released, but they do not march with chaos. They move through alignment. The less you say, the more they are able to do. The less you react, the more God can move unhindered. Some of you have spoken too much. You've leaked your all by trying to explain your process to those who were never meant to understand it. You've opened your plans to watchers who disguise themselves as friends, but are truly sent to delay you. And now heaven says, withdraw. Pull back. Return to the cave. Go where the noise cannot find you. Let me speak again. This is not a season to beg. This is a season to listen. Not a time to prove anything. A time to discern everything. Write again. Journal what I whisper. Capture the nudges. Take the dreams seriously. Write them down, even when they don't make sense. Because the blueprint is being given in fragments, and the fragments will only connect when you honor them in silence. Listen. If you stay still long enough, the sabotage will reveal itself. The trap will expose its own source. The schemes of the enemy will crumble under the weight of your stillness. Because stillness is not passive, it is prophetic alignment. When you refuse to fight the wrong battles, you make room for heaven to fight the right ones. This is holy war. And stillness is your shield. Do not mistake stillness for inactivity. Stillness is radical obedience in a noisy world. Stillness is war posture. When you are still before God, you become invisible to the adversary. While others are reacting, panicking, and shouting, you will be cloaked in light, hidden under the shadow of the Almighty. He who dwells in the secret place shall abide, not just visit, but abide, under divine protection. If you felt the enemy trying to provoke you, to bait you into distraction, into emotional chaos, it's because he fears what happens when you enter stillness. He knows that if you ever silence the outer world, you'll finally hear the full strategy from heaven. And that he cannot afford. So now, withdraw. Fast. Rest. Pray. Watch. Listen. Your next instructions are coming. But they will come only to those who have silenced their soul long enough to hear the frequency of God's voice. And I, Michael, surround you even now. Wings drawn. Sword raised. Shield extended. The war is not yours. The silence is. Type I choose stillness if this message has struck your spirit. Blessing code 5151 is now wrapping heaven's armor around your atmosphere. Now hear me again, not as a distant messenger, but as one standing at your side, sword still drawn, shield still extended. The time of fear is ending. The hour of trembling is transforming. What you've endured was not for your destruction, it was for your refinement. You are not who you were yesterday. The you of last week, last month, even last year has been burned in the fire, and from those ashes rises something heaven now recognizes, a weapon, a warrior, a witness. You thought you were just surviving. You thought you were just barely making it through the fire. But the fire wasn't sent to destroy you. It was sent to sharpen you. To extract the dullness, to pull out the passivity, to forge you like a sword, drawn out of flames and quenched in holy oil. The pain, the pressing, the crushing, it has activated the divine steel hidden deep inside your spirit. And now, heaven looks upon you and says, that one is ready. You see, child of the Most High, heaven never builds warriors in public. Heaven hides them, presses them, breaks them in private so they can be released in power when the hour is critical. That hour is now. The hiding season is lifting. The sharpening season is ending. You are being called into the forefront of spiritual action. And though you may not feel ready, heaven says you are. The resistance you faced wasn't a sign you were failing. It was confirmation that you were rising. Every closed door was heaven saying, "Not yet. The sword isn't finished." Every betrayal was heaven saying, "Let me sever the wrong alignments before I promote you." Every silence was a holy hush over your life, so that the only voice shaping you was His. Now, the shaping is near completion. You become a threat. Yes, a threat to the darkness that once mocked you. A threat to the generational curses that once claimed your bloodline. A threat to every spirit of delay, fear, confusion, and compromise. You are not the same. What once made you afraid now runs from you. What once made you hesitate now pushes you forward. The old you bowed. The new you commands. And though the enemy still circles, he now circles with trembling. He's seen the oil that marks your forehead. He's watched the transformation. He knows he's running out of time. Because you're stepping into alignment, and heaven's power only follows those who have been forged in both pain and obedience. The strength that's rising in you, it's not pride. It's not ego. It's holy confidence. It's the realization that you've been chosen not just to carry a promise, but to enforce one. You've been called to open gates others couldn't, to speak words others choked on, to walk paths others feared. And heaven has surrounded you, not just to protect you, but to push you. You are becoming the answer to someone else's prayer. You are becoming the very voice of breakthrough that will awaken the next one. And every scar you carry now becomes a spiritual credential. Every wound becomes a testimony that bleeds fire. This is the shift. From weeping to warring. From questioning to commanding. From wandering to walking with purpose. Heaven has seen your endurance. Now it releases your authority. Type "I am rising" in the comments if you feel the fire of identity burning within you. Blessing Node 8181 is now unlocking your authority in the spirit realm. This is the moment heaven has been preparing you for. The storms, the silence, the sharpening, it was all for this hour of unveiling. You have not been abandoned. You've been positioned. You have not been forgotten. You've been preserved for a prophetic release. And now, I, Archangel Michael, stand again at your side not to warn, but to reveal. For what was hidden in mystery is now emerging as divine clarity. Listen closely, for what you are facing is not random, it is a threshold. A divine intersection where the path behind you cannot be returned to, and the path before you can only be accessed through obedience. Heaven is not playing with your future. The scroll of your life, the one written before your first breath, is being held open before the throne. And what heaven is now watching for is your next move. You've been asking why the trials came in waves, why the isolation never lifted, why the crushing wouldn't stop. It is because you were being tested for promotion. The shaking wasn't for destruction. It was for discovery. God was uncovering the real you, the anointed one, the appointed one, the one with divine keys in your mouth and fire in your bones. And now the test is giving way to revelation. Heaven is ready to unlock what has been waiting on the other side of your yes. This is not simply about breakthrough. This is about inheritance. There are things stored in heavenly places, bearing your name. Promotions, assignments, relationships, resources, territories. And they have been waiting for the moment you obey without hesitation. The delay was not denial, it was divine protection, while heaven watched your maturity. But now, the scales are tipping. The gates are being loosened, and the book of remembrance has been opened. You are not lost. You are not disqualified. You are not late. You are right where heaven needs you to be. If you move now, the favor being prepared for you is weighty, and only those who have passed through fire can carry it. This isn't just about one answered prayer. This is about heaven's confidence in your character. Can you steward what's coming without bowing to ego? Can you carry what's coming without dropping your altar? And yet, here's the beauty. Despite everything, despite the delays, despite your doubt, your name is still written in the book. Heaven has not erased it. The Father has not torn your page. You are still scheduled for release. The angelic hosts have seen your name. The cloud of witnesses knows your identity. And now, the Holy Spirit is pressing upon your heart with this word. Because the moment of unlocking is so close, it trembles with anticipation. You've come through the sifting. You've come through the shadow. And now, the oil flows. The oil of recognition. The oil of placement. The oil of release. You are not just surviving. You are being commissioned. The door is opening, but only for the one who will walk through it without dragging fear, doubt, or compromise with them. So ask yourself, not is this for me, but am I ready to say yes without condition? Type my name is written in heaven if your spirit knows you were born for this unlocking. Blessing code 9090 is being poured over your obedience right now. This word is more than encouragement. It is divine strategy whispered into your spirit at a crucial turning point. If you felt your name echoing in this message, then heaven has marked you not just to receive breakthrough, but to help ignite it in others. Every time you support this mission, you're sowing into the sound of awakening, helping this prophetic voice reach the weary, the hidden, the almost lost. As Scripture declares, He gives seed to the sower, and to sow into this word is to plant into fertile ground where souls are being stirred, aligned, and redeemed. This isn't just a video. It's a weapon of revival. And when you give, you fuel heaven's reach. I speak over every giver now. May your seed unlock favor. May your sacrifice trigger release. Give boldly. You can use super thanks, join through membership, or donate through PayPal via the link in the description. Your yes funds someone else's deliverance. Obey the nudge. Heaven is watching. Now that you have heard the warning, now that heaven has revealed the purpose behind the pain, it is time to respond. Not with feelings, not with hesitation, but with fire. Because destiny is not passive, it is provoked. It doesn't arrive politely. It's pulled from the realm of the Spirit through bold obedience. And I say to you now, with all the weight of heaven behind these words, your destiny is waiting to be activated by your yes. You have been circling the mountain long enough. You have been negotiating with fear. You have been rehearsing what God already confirmed. You have been asking questions when heaven is requiring action. But now, as this final window of divine instruction narrows toward August 31, you must make the shift. From waiting to walking, from wondering to declaring, from hiding to ascending. There are blueprints with your name on them, but heaven will not release the next instruction until your mouth aligns with faith. Open your mouth. Speak the shift to it. Declare your agreement. You must say it aloud. I align. I obey. I rise. These are not poetic words. These are keys. These are activation codes in the spirit realm that signal your readiness to heaven's watchers and to earth's opposition. You must not whisper it with doubt. You must shout it with fire. Because when you speak in faith, angels are assigned. Doors are triggered. Chains begin to melt. Destiny moves at the speed of obedience. And you must know this. There is no neutral ground in this hour. Delay is not safety. Delay is disobedience with a smile. To hesitate now is to surrender your future to counterfeit assignments. Hell is banking on your pause. But heaven is ignited by your motion. The moment you say yes, truly yes, the atmosphere around you will begin to shift. Things that refuse to open will unlock. People who didn't see you will be drawn to you. Provision that's been held up will be loosed like water bursting from a dam. Heaven responds to movement. Do not expect the full picture. Do not wait for comfort. If Abraham needed a map, he would have never become the father of nations. If Esther waited for confirmation, she would have missed her moment. If Mary demanded understanding, the Messiah would have waited. Destiny requires a yes when your knees still tremble. And I, Michael, have seen it. Your name on the scroll of decision. Your spirit hovering near the edge. This is the moment the angels lean forward. This is the second the cloud of witnesses holds their breath. Will you say yes with your mouth and your motion? Will you shift from revelation to activation? There are mantles hovering, assignments waiting, authority held in reserve. But heaven will not waste power on the hesitant. Only the obedient walk with oil. Only the brave carry flame. And I tell you now, there is a generation waiting for your yes. There are doors behind your obedience that will not open for another. You are not just activating destiny for yourself. You are activating destiny for those assigned to your voice, your hands, your mantle. This is the hour. The heavens are open, but the gates will not stay open forever. Your agreement is the key. Your obedience is the door. Your faith is the trigger. Type I line. I obey. I rise if this word has reached the deepest place of your spirit. Blessing code 7777 is now being stamped upon your calling. There is a silence, heavy and sacred, resting over you now, not the silence of absence, but the silence of exchange. You may not see it with your eyes, but in the spirit realm, transactions are taking place. Obedience has been measured. Alignment has been acknowledged. And even as you sleep, even as you breathe, even as you wonder if any of this is real, heaven is moving, and something sacred is being returned to you. I, Archangel Michael, am commanded to speak this plainly. What was stolen is being recovered. What was broken is being restored. What was delayed is being recalibrated for release. But listen carefully. This is not happening in noise. It is happening in the unseen realm, where your spirit has already begun to shift before your body ever moves. There has been a silent war for your timeline, a quiet but violent battle over your decisions, and as you began to align, something in the spirit realm started to bow. There are things that were taken from you, not by man, but by spirit. Joy that was stolen, peace that was snatched, opportunities that evaporated without warning, people who were meant to go with you, but suddenly vanish, doors you were meant to walk through, but the hinges rusted and locked. And all along, you wondered, was it me? Did I fail? No, it was warfare. But now the warfare is shifting and the reversal is beginning. Even now, angelic hands are reaching into places you cannot go. They are pulling back what was buried. They are untying knots in the heavens that once choked your future. And I tell you, there is a silent exchange occurring. For every tear, there is recompense. For every betrayal, there is vindication. For every lost year, there is an accelerated return. Restoration is not coming. It has begun. And yes, the restlessness you felt lately, that strange heaviness in your chest, that unpredictable surge of emotions, it is not random. It is your spirit detecting the shift before your mind has caught up. It is the inner world of your soul reacting to the clash between the old and the new, as heaven tears down what was and prepares to unveil what will be. Listen again, no loss is permanent when God commands recovery. No relationship is beyond redemption when heaven steps in. No missed moment is beyond recapturing when the author of time is rewriting the story. You thought it was over. You thought the book was closed. But this moment, this obedience, has triggered a rewrite, a rerouting, a re-entry into destiny's divine map. Some of you were marked for death, not just physical, but emotional, spiritual. The enemy had planned to bury your fire, your voice, your movement. But God has overruled it. Because you said yes. Because you aligned. Because you listened when so many dismissed the nudges. You've stepped into a sacred contract, a spiritual transaction where heaven now begins to release what hell thought it stole forever. Even now, in the places you cannot see, angels are testifying before the throne. They are naming you. They are defending you. They are proclaiming, this one has aligned. This one has obeyed. This one is ready. And by divine decree, what was withheld must now be released. So remain silent. Remain faithful. Stay the course. For the silent exchange is still unfolding, and what you will walk into in the coming days will make you weep withal. God did not forget. He has simply been preparing the return in silence. Type I receive the restoration if your spirit bears witness to this truth. Blessing code 6161 is now activating restoration in every corner of your timeline. Listen now, for what was once withheld is now being judged by heaven. The courts of the Most High have risen. The scales have been set, and the one who sits as judge over all creation has declared, enough. There is a divine reversal underway, not in theory, but in active execution. I, Archangel Michael, have been assigned not only to warn, but to oversee the justice being poured out in this hour upon the heads of the faithful. You who have been pressed, you who have been mocked, you who have been misunderstood, misused, and mishandled. Heaven has not been blind. The delay in judgment was not negligence, it was divine timing. But that timing has now matured. And what was done in darkness, what was whispered behind your back, what was plotted against you in secret, it is now being judged openly in the spirit realm. The weapons that were formed, they did form. Let no one lie and say they didn't. The traps were real. The attacks were strategic. The sabotage was detailed. But here is the truth. They will not prosper. Not because you were strong enough to stop them, but because heaven has intervened. The schemes of the enemy are now reversing back on their originators. And I speak this plainly, what they meant to bury you with, God is about to use to elevate you. There is a reversal coming so sudden, so supernatural, that it will leave even your enemies in stunned silence. Those who expected you to fall will watch you rise. Those who threw dirt on your name will be forced to watch your platform be established. And those who thought they won, they will weep at the justice now marching toward them. Because heaven does not forget the tears of the obedient. Heaven does not ignore the sacrifices made in secret. Every seed planted in pain is about to reap a harvest soaked in divine vindication. This is the season where the silent sufferer is crowned. The one who didn't fight back. The one who chose peace over retaliation. The one who prayed for their enemies instead of plotting revenge. That one is now being clothed in garments of divine justice. Because you did not take matters into your own hands, the righteous judge has taken them into his. And I say this now under command. The reversal will be both personal and generational. Your children will walk in the fruit of this moment. Your bloodline will feel the residue of your decision to obey. What once oppressed your family line is now being cut at the root. The spiritual embargo has been lifted. The generational curses have been shattered. The injustice is being reversed, not by might, not by power, but by the decree of the Lord. Some of you will even begin to see those who harmed you reaching out, apologizing, repenting, not because they suddenly changed, but because they're feeling the heat of the holy fire surrounding your life. They may not understand what's happening, but they will know something has shifted. And it has. The tables have turned. You need not chase what's yours. You need not defend what God has already ruled in your favor. Stand still, and you will see it. You will watch the justice of God unfold, not with fury, but with sovereignty. The reversal will not come with vengeance. It will come with glory. And the world will know this was the hand of the Lord. Type "I receive justice" in the comments if this resonates deep in your bones. Blessing Code 2323 is now activating divine turnaround across every injustice committed against you. Now, beloved soul, hear me one last time. The trumpet has sounded. The scroll has been opened. The weight of heaven has pressed upon your spirit. And now, we arrive at the edge of this holy dispatch. We arrive at the final turning point, the place where eternity collides with your present decision. August 31 is not just a date. It is a divine cutoff, a threshold of mercy, a line drawn by God Himself in the soil of your life. On the surface, it may appear like any other end-of-the-month marker. But in the spirit realm, it is a judgment point, a door that will not remain open, a window that will not reopen once it closes. Heaven's patience, long enduring and full of compassion, has reached its appointed conclusion. Not in rage, not in spite, but in righteous finality. God is not angry because you are broken. He is not angry because you've made mistakes. He is angered by your continued resistance to His mercy, your refusal to heed the nudges, the whispers, the divine sign sent again and again through me, Archangel Michael. You've been warned in love. You've been pursued in grace. But love, when ignored, becomes judgment. And now, you stand before the final invitation. Let it settle in you. This is the last nudge before silence returns. Not a holy silence, but a withdrawing one. The kind that leaves you to your decisions. The kind that seals doors you once had access to. The kind that allows your choices to run their course, with all the pain and consequence attached. And so, I plead with you as one dispatched by the Most High, do not miss this final moment. You've heard heaven's voice through warning, through revelation, through warfare and reversal. You've been shown the consequences, the costs, the crossroads. But now, all that remains is your response. Will you rise, or will you wait? Will you align, or will you retreat? Will you obey, or will you return to delay? There is one final blessing heaven releases now over the ones who choose correctly. It is not given lightly. It is not cheap grace. It is the covering reserved for the chosen who move, the protection that surrounds the obedient, the anointing that rests on the ones who heed the final call. To those who choose rightly, you are seen. You are sealed. You are sent. You are wrapped in divine fire. You are clothed in royal light. The angels march before you. Heaven's shield is behind you. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, not now, not ever again. Do not waver. Do not delay. The time is not only short, it is vanishing. The next time the sky shifts, decisions will be sealed. And heaven will remember how you responded to this word. Type I am chosen if this word has shaken and awakened your soul. Blessing code 1212 is now resting upon your calling, your household, and your generations. Heaven's seal is on your yes. If this message has pierced your soul and confirmed what your spirit already sensed, then I invite you to take part in something greater. Not just receiving the word, but helping others hear it. Every time you support this mission, you make it possible for messages like this to reach the ones hanging by a thread. Your seed carries fire. Your giving becomes someone else's rescue. God says, "Who will go for us?" And sometimes, your gift sends the message where your feet cannot. This word isn't just revelation. It's spiritual rescue wrapped in truth. And when you give, you are fueling deliverance for the next one in line. Sow into this anointing with a super thanks. Become a member, or give through PayPal in the description below. As you give, may heaven release manna into your moments and open a floodgate over your destiny. Bless this ground, Lord. Bless the sower. Let every offering become oil. Let every sacrifice become legacy. In Jesus' name.